الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب واحلم يجعل له وجه أحمده سبحانه وتعالى وأشكره وهو أهل حمد وثناء وأشهد أن لا إله إلا وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ومصطفى اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك محمد وأهله وصحبه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah Almighty. Allah says, be in a race for all that is good and forbidding all that is evil. And we just have to understand what that evil is. Allah is telling us to avoid everything that's going to keep us from our reality, from hitting the target, from our success, from our reaching to stations, heavenly stations, while still in this life, to really taste the sweetness of faith like it's never been done before. Allah says the evil one threatens you with poverty and bids you to conduct unseemingly. Allah promised you His forgiveness and bounties, and Allah cares for all, and He knoweth all things. He granteth wisdom to whom He please, and to whom wisdom is granted receive indeed a benefit overflowing, but none will grasp the message but men and women of understanding. Allah speaks the truth. We have to understand that there is a course in which Allah Almighty has put us on, and any deviation from that, look in our everyday lives. What is the difference between someone who is successful and someone who is not successful? They both have 24 hours in a day. See, everybody starts out from the same place. Everybody comes through the womb of their mother. They have to learn to crawl, walk, talk. They have to learn to do these things. And if they are properly guided and directed, they should grow up to be strong and productive human beings, also training and establishing that same mode in which they were trained. When Allah Almighty sent all the prophets to us, this is all that they bring. This is all that they bring. It is impossible for us to come out unless, when you see groups of people going from darkness to light, it is impossible for that to happen without training. Because all that we know, Allah Almighty veils it from us. And the only way that it's unveiled to us is that there is a struggle. Allah put struggles in front of us so that we may unveil that power. Look at the caterpillar crawling on the ground. People looking up, never seeing the caterpillar, stepping all on them. Most caterpillars don't even make it to a butterfly, because most of them are crawling. Once they fall out the trees, they're crawling and people are stepping on them. But those who make it to the cocoon, and that struggle in the cocoon, they make a transition from a crawly creature now to a creature that's able to fly above the earth. That is a sign. Everything's a signs and symbols. Allah is saying, look at the caterpillar. I created the caterpillar for those who have wisdom, who have understanding, those who will grasp the message, who will get the meaning. It is not for men and women that do not have understanding. because they're not going to put it together. They are going to always come up in last place. They're always going to fall off of their squares. They're always going to be miserable in their lives. All this is self-induced. Allah says, Shaitan threatens you with poverty. It's a threat. But Allah Almighty gives bounties and wisdom to those who grasp the message, those who are disciplined, who impose a discipline on themselves to follow and to practice the message. Allah makes a clear distinction. That caterpillar, when it goes and it struggles, and it struggles, and it struggles, and it comes out flying, that is a miracle. There are human beings on the earth. We all start out as caterpillars. And there are some human beings, through their struggle, they look at their struggle differently from what we look at our struggle. And that's the difference in the two people in a 24-hour period. The way they look at their struggle. Some people look at their struggle as, why me? I do all these things. And yet I'm still not able to reach the greatest goodness in my life. I have this struggle, I have these trials, I have these tribulations. So I'm going to just sleep. I'm just going to give up. And I'm going to be a trial for those who are trying to get something done. I'm just going to be somebody that criticizes. I'm going to be somebody that's envious and jealous. I want to be somebody that's just miserable. And I want to prove to people why we should be miserable. If there's a greater creator, why would this be happening to me? Why would that be happening to me? Because we are in the cocoon. That is a part of the struggle to become a butterfly. What is wrong with us when we are struggling? We should love the struggle because the struggle gets us strong. Anybody that has resistance training, they're in the gym, they're working out with weights, all their muscles are doing is breaking down and building up. Is it painful? Yes, it's painful. Someone dies, is close to us, we'll become so entrenched in such a deep, deep pain. Allah wants us to know just how real this is. That this person, another miracle. There's a miracle that happens when we are born, and there's another miracle when we die. That is miraculous. Even though we don't look at it as a miracle, somebody could be around here talking, walking, doing things. Next thing we know, they're no longer in this life, and their bodies have to be put under the ground. We don't look at it that way, but it is a miracle. That being still existing, still aware, it's just no longer in the shell that it used to get around in this physical life to do within a 24-hour period something that was going to please its Lord. This physical body is a test. And if we cannot gain a control over it and a mastery over it, then we leave this life, we live in this life very, very unhappy. Unhappiness have a power. Because when we start to think bad thoughts, we start to feel ill feelings. And the way you change the way you feel is to change the way you think.